Hello everybody, my name is RPG and welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force 3. In today's episode we're going to be passing through Dwarf Valley. We've got a new party member and a couple of new enemies to take a quick look at. So, Obright is pretty good. His attack would be as high as Symbios's had I not used a power wine on Symbios. He has the highest defense of the party by beating out Danteres by 1. But he does have the lowest agility, so although he's a bit of a powerhouse, he is going to be going last pretty much every turn. In terms of enemies, we've got these worms over here, which are probably the most dangerous enemy on the map, to be pretty honest. They've got really high attack, decent defense, and a good amount of health. We've got these Skavens, which are somewhat similar to the mass monks, not too threatening. We've got the bats, and we've got these snipers as well. The snipers are going to be the first proper ranged enemy that we face. So we fought a couple of spellcasters, but we've not fought any enemies with actual ranged attacks yet. So they might pose a little bit of a problem. We've got a couple of little things we want to try and do as we go around here. So where these enemies are approaching from down there, I kind of want to wall this off and block it off and prevent them from advancing. And over there there's a treasure chest with an item in it that you cannot pick up outside of this battle. So I'm going to have to make sure that I send someone up there at some point to go and nab that. This battle is relatively straightforward. The difficulty spikes really hard in Battle 2, and then it kind of just remains very similar for Battles 3 and 4. It's not a huge deal for me to worry about here, and the enemies are quite spaced out. There's plenty of terrain between me and them, so I'm not really in any particular danger of getting myself overran at this stage. So I'm thinking I'm going to have the majority of my squad head round to the left and through the valley, and I'm going to have Danteres and Obright kind of sit up top and hold the line. I might send Grace with Danteres and Obright. I haven't really made my mind up yet. I guess we'll see how I feel after one of them gets hit. But everybody else should be okay to just scoot around here, really. So the Skaven and the Worm are going to charge me, but everything else should more or less stay put until I run up and attack it. So again, Skavens count as a bladed enemy, or an enemy with a sword or type weapon, so Danteres will be effective on it. But I think I want to remove the... Actually, what would be smarter would be... Because Danteres actually has a ranged option and Obright doesn't, if I run Obright up and get him in melee range, that way Danteres can then kind of attack over his shoulder. See how hard he gets hit. Three damage is kind of nasty, but he should be okay. I'm thinking I might leave Grace with them. And these bats are exactly the same as the bats that we've been fighting in the last two battles, so they are capable of the poison attack, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. I think they'll be alright. Should be okay. Send Hayward down here. I could probably do with sparing and sending someone else up, but we'll run the risk for now. Right. So Obright can reach the bat, and he should be able to bring this down in either one hit or two. We'll see. I think Masquerade would be able to hit the sniper, and that should leave it low enough then that I can have just Danteres just pick it off. Because he was doing well, he did 9 damage to the Skaven. He might not do quite so high to the sniper, and he will be using a spear, which is a slightly weaker weapon. Yeah, I'm glad I sent Grace down the bottom now, actually, after I've seen how hard Masquerade gets hit. She should be safe from the other sniper, and I'm assuming the Danteres is going to get a turn before the sniper does. Otherwise, I'm going to spot a bother. And luckily, because he countered and killed the Skaven, I can actually just run him up and have him just use his lance instead. He'll do more damage with his lance. Yeah, and if I'd had to use the spear, he wouldn't have killed it, and if the archer now gets a turn, yeah, would have just killed Masquerade, so that wouldn't have been particularly good. Symbios attack this. Now with a bit of luck, Hayward will be able to run in and finish this off, but if not, Masquerade should then move before the Skaven gets another turn. So the Skaven that Danteres kills when you counterattack, that's just respawned at the top. Kind of the gimmick of this battle is it introduces you to the respawning enemy mechanics. And there are a couple of battles where certain enemies, once defeated, just continually respawn forever and forever. This is both good and bad, because in this battle in particular it's not really a problem. So, Obright and Danteres I've sent up there to hold the line for a little while we deal with the initial flow of enemies. And then, after that, they'll be more or less done and we'll be home free. Because those enemies up there will spawn so far away from the rest of my squad that they shouldn't realistically ever reach me. I'm hoping by the end of this battle that a couple of people start it at level 4. So we'll have the worm run up. I think these worms also have a special attack. It is more irritating than the one that the bat has. Less dangerous, but more irritating. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when one of them actually uses the attack. So, I think I'll just top Danteres up first. I don't think he's in any immediate danger, but I'd rather just play it safe. And using items on each other does actually build up character relationships as well. She can't reach anything, so I'll have to move around. I should probably kill the bat. Just in case I don't want to risk it poisoning anybody. Hayward shouldn't get hit quite as hard as Masquerade. You could take one more, but I'll probably just top him up. So I'm thinking I'm going to have Symbios head up here with... I'm probably going to send everyone for support, just to be on the safe side. Because I've created M people now, I can afford to be a little bit more willy-nilly. So I've got two more casts of heal before she's out of mana. And we're kind of getting to the point now where that should be enough to carry me through most battles. Though this is the special attack that the worms have. It affects Paralyze. Paralyze works really similar to how Paralysis works in most other games. It just means that your character sometimes has a chance to perform no action. It is more well, it's less irritating, more irritating really than poison, but less dangerous. So they're not going to be taking constant ticking damage, but sometimes they just don't do anything. What's quite nice about it though is that they will always get a chance to move, so it doesn't just happen at the start of a turn.
Here I come.
What's relatively notable about the worms is they actually have a weakness to fire. So Blaze 1 is normally doing around 10 damage to most enemies, but these worms take 13, I believe it was there. So we'll see if Danteres actually gets his move off. That's quite fortunate. And he's hit level 4. He's got a pretty solid level. It's a shame he didn't get a point of defense, but the rest of it is pretty good. We'll have Symbios run up now and kill this worm. Because I've had relatively good agility gains from Danteres, I shouldn't need to do any level grinding in a couple of battles' time. There's a optional character coming up, like Hayward, that we have to save in battle. And the problem with the fight that the character is in is if you don't have anyone if Danteres' agility is too low, basically you're screwed, because he won't be able to move up in time before the enemies attack and wipe her out. So I've been quite lucky with his agility growth so far on his levels. I should be okay, so I'm not too worried about it at this point. That was quite unlucky. This is kind of unfortunate in that all Dantrez has got to heal himself with is expensive healing items. So I'm going to have him run off. Because if he was to move up or stay where he is and try and heal and fail, he'll die. So, Obright is an axe or mace user, which actually makes him vulnerable to enemies with swords. He's the first instance we've got where this works the other way. We will occasionally find other enemies wielding axes and maces that, say, Symbios will be particularly effective on. So it's the actual weapons triangle actually works quite well here. So we should be able to take this sniper down with relative ease. I'm quite lucky actually that he didn't just run up and attack Masquerade, because I completely forgot he was there when I put him there. I think really I need to send Grace back. Hayward can just kill this bat.
Yeah.
Critical should definitely deal with that. We haven't had anyone learn a special yet, actually, but we should hopefully start getting a couple of special attacks soon. That's kind of irritating that the Worm's positioned itself straight behind Obright. Especially because he's... If I move him away, the Skaven shouldn't be able to reach him. If the Skaven can't reach him... Feels a bit of a shame to waste his healing drop so early, but... If the Skaven can't reach him, then he can actually survive a hit. So, if I top him back up ready to deal with the Worm... And I've got Grace running in, ready to come and provide some backup heals. Let's have Masquerade kill this sniper. We're getting quite a lot of mileage out of this spell now that Masquerade actually has enough MP really to get away with casting it quite a lot in battle. So she's gone from being someone that's got quite a powerful nuke that she can only cast maybe 2 times a battle, 3 times a battle, to actually being able to cast it a lot. She just gains another 3 MP, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. That's been an antidote hurt for that. Ah, right. Actually, no, we're fine. I didn't think the Skaven would be able to reach him. Very, very lucky that Dantrez wasn't paralysed on his action. So to have a quick look at Masquerade now, she's up to 20 MP, and the level 2 Blaze spell I will hopefully be able to show off a little bit towards the end of this battle. I'm not massively optimistic that I'll get an opportunity really to make proper use of it, but if I get a chance I will definitely use it. Symbios at level 4 now as well. Health, attack, defense, not bad. It would have been great if he got some agility, but we'll take what we can get. I think this is the last bat, so if I can get rid of this, I'm not going to have to worry about anyone being poisoned. Right, Hayward's inventory is full, and I'm pretty sure there is an item tucked away in those barrels. I'm going to just have him run up and support this way, though. Symbios are going to need topping up pretty soon. Right, I'll Obright take down this worm. Hopefully he does 6 damage this time. Yeah, perfect. So with the worm gone, and just this Skaven pushed up, most of the threat is now gone from that flank. Because although the worm will respawn, it's going to respawn right at the very top, and it's going to be so far away from the rest of my guys that it probably just won't even reach anyone that come off each of the chests and then got everyone to the exit of the map. So, yeah, we'll have Dantrez attack. Because even if he's paralysed, yep, there we go, wasted action, but he does still gain an experience point. Even though he's paralysed, he's not in danger of being killed in one hit. So there's the worm respawning. Symbios can now kill this worm for me. I should potentially... let's go with that. I think what I should do here is, for that worm when it respawns, I should have Masquerade hit it with Blaze and weaken it a bit, and then have Haywood finish it off and try and get him up to level 4 that way. Likewise, I'm thinking if I hit that Skaven again, let's have Masquerade sit here, which you should be able to reach it. If I have Obright hit that again, he should leave it low enough that Grayson will be able to get a killing blow on it. And Grace is going to get plenty of XP from healing these two back off afterwards. Symbiotes run down here. She should have enough mana for one more cast after this. Let's put him there out of the way. Yeah, that should be definitely low enough that Grace will be able to kill that off. Right, so Masquerade hit this one. This should bring it down to maybe like 5 health, I think it should be on. And then that should easily be low enough then for Hayward just to quickly finish it off. That hit a lot harder that time. Wasn't expecting it to hit that hard. So, Danterez, you've kind of done your job now, so you can just go over here. I really could do with removing his paralysis. If I manage to run him all the way up to Hayward, Hayward's carrying an antidote herb, so he'll be able to deal with it for me. So, Symbiote, inspect this chest for me. Protect Bracer. And let's bin an antidote herb for it. Grace can finish his Skaven off. Just about. And Hayward can get the last hit on this worm. And if I need to, I can have Masquerade and Hayward double team another worm out of the way. That's Hayward's level 4. A very poor level up, very poor level up, just 1 health. Right, upright, if I move him here, I'll move him here just to make sure that Grace is able to reach him. So, something worth mentioning that I haven't gone over yet. There's no boss on this map, and because the enemies are continually respawning, we don't win by wiping everything out. We win by where that Skaven that's stationary at the back of the map. When we move Symbiote to there, that's when we're considered done. We've crossed the map and we're now safe. So now that I've pretty much killed everything, that's going to be my next port of call. And to be honest, if that worm doesn't respawn, because it doesn't look like it is, I might just have Grace and Upright kill that last worm, just so I've killed everything on the map. Right, Symbiote, you can medical herb yourself. Oh, really quickly while we're here. The Protect Bracer gives a handy +3 to defense. I am probably going to put that on Masquerade for now. Because although I'd be better served, to be honest, putting it on a melee fighter, she's in like real danger of actually just being one-shot by physical attacks at this point. So I think I'm going to just give it to her to make sure to try and stop that from happening. Right, between the two of them, Upright and Grey should be able to kill this worm and the Skaven at the back. You can park yourself up here, where anyone will be able to reach you. Symbios, I think, has got a antidote herb. Brilliant. He is out of healing items though now after this, so I'm going to have to maybe move some things around onto a couple of characters just in case. Or, God forbid, actually buy some healing items. Generally speaking, you'll never be pressed to actually go out and buy any medical herbs or healing drops or antidote herbs, because they're plentiful drops from enemies generally. So like the bats were dropping lots and lots of antidote herbs. Most of the humanoidish enemies will drop regular herbs. We'll see how hard this is, Grace. Oh, she should be okay. She can take at least one more hit. And in theory, the worm should be dead before it gets another action. That's going to leave up now. Actually, I'll have a entirely excessive but good way to demonstrate how the Blaze level 2 spell works compared to level 1. Which I'll get to in a moment when we go back to Massacre and I can get her in range. Right, Grace should finish this worm off. For some reason she counts as effective against this. So there are certain enemy classes in the game that wands and rods and anks, the other caster weapons, count as effective on. I'm not entirely sure what the criteria is for it. Absolutely fantastic level up for her though, gaining everything and 2 MP, and she's learned the antidote spell. Antidote does pretty much what it says on the tin. Antidote level 1 cures poison and paralyze, so that's going to be a massive use as we go forward. And if I can get Obright to kill this, I might be able to get him to level 4 as well, so ending everyone a level higher. That'd be brilliant. Oh, so that worm's respawned, so after I kill that Skaven, I think I will just call this battle quits. Because I suspect it's just going to keep respawning forever. Although I'm a little bit confused about why the first worm on the other flank hasn't respawned. But I'm not going to complain. Symbios. I'm not going to move Symbios all the way up yet because I'm sure him ending the map at the end is the trigger for moving it on. And at minimum I want to kill this Skaven first before I go anywhere. Should be nice and softened up now for Obright. We'll move Hayward up here ready. Yeah, we'll let Hayward kill it. Right, Obright kills this. We should be good to go. It's a shame he didn't level. He can't be very far off though. I wonder how far. So, the Blaze level 2 spell. Blaze level 2 costs 5 MP, and that is because it actually targets an area. So it will hit the target and everything in one adjacent square, so to the cardinal directions. It cannot hit diagonally. It also is slightly more powerful than Blaze level 1, I believe. We'll double check on the stats in a moment. But it costs 5 MP rather than 2. So it's really, really useful if you can damage multiple enemies. If you're hitting at least 3 enemies, then it's more mana efficient than level 1. But otherwise, you technically would be better off just casting the level 1 version twice instead. We've got a medical herb, which we don't really need because she's loaded up with healing items. If we have a really quick check of her status in detail, we see Blaze level 1 has got a power of 10 and Blaze level 2 has got a power of 12. So single target, it is technically a slight damage boost, but it's so minute that it's not really worthwhile. Did we kill Skaven? Yeah, we did. So we'll have Danterez move here, and map move is the option. We've officially crossed this entire place, and moving Symbios to the end is what's triggered us moving on. So there's a little bit of story here, a little bit of cutscene, so I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. And with that, we move straight from battle number 4 into battle number 5. So, I'm going to end this episode here for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.